Can we talk for a minute about our Integrating Heart and Mind workshop?
Absolutely. I'm excited. It's coming up in the fall of 2024.
I'm so excited. We changed the format to make it more accessible to people with like work schedules and personal schedules. And so this time we're going to do it 3 hours on a Friday afternoon or evening, depending on where you're at, and 5 hours on Saturday for 2 different weeks in September.
Yeah, it's so great. Like if you're finding yourself stuck in like sticky bad patterns or having communication issues or something like that, or if you want to just like get closer and trust yourself or your partner more, this is the workshop for you.
Yeah, and individuals are welcome, couples are welcome. If you're interested in really thinking through how to serve yourself well inside of your relationships, then we've built a workshop that will support you in finding the ways that are just right for you.
To sign up, head over to our website at whydoesmypartner.com/events.
We hope you'll join us. Welcome to the Why Does My Partner podcast.
I'm Jules.
I'm Vicky.
And I'm Rebecca. We're your hosts. We're also couples therapists and messy humans bumbling through our own relationships every day.
We met at a training, and our secret sauce is that we and our partners became fast friends. Between us, we have more than 40 years of experience holding hard relational questions with our clients. We're going to bring those questions here.
And together, we're going to take a stab at answering those questions. This podcast is not a substitute for couples therapy. If something you hear in this podcast stirs something deep within you about your relationship, reach out to a couples therapist in your area.
We also love to hear your questions, so don't forget to go over to whydoesmypartner.com to leave a question of your own. Our next live workshop, Integrating Mind and Heart, will be held online from September 22nd to 24th, 2023.
If you want to get closer and trust each other and yourself to get through the hard moments, this is the workshop for you.
Sign up at whydoesmypartner.com/events.
Today's question is, why does my partner want me just to get over the hurt?
This question breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Say more.
Because someone's hurt.
Yeah.
I don't like it when people are hurt, as most of us don't. I mean, there's some people, whatever, that don't care, but
Sure.
I'm a compassionate person, and I'm sorry that you're hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's another piece here, if it's okay that I kind of push back on you a little bit here. People get hurt. Being hurt is like something that happens. It's part of being human and in relationship. And
right. Hurt is not a bug in relationships. Hurt is a feature in relationships.
It's not like a negotiable part. Like oh, you're never going to hurt me. Or I'm never going to feel hurt. Right. So somehow, like if my partner wants me to just get over my hurt, there's something about that feels really minimizing. It's denying my experience.
It can be really discounting. And it's really common too for two reasons. One, because we don't want to see someone hurt. And it's painful to see someone hurt. So as I move into that empathy, which is an excitatory thing for our brains neurochemically, if I stay there a long time, it can be really painful. Well, what's the source of the pain I'm experiencing? Your hurt is the source of the pain I'm experiencing. I need you to stop hurting so that I stop hurting. Right? So it could be.
So now we've just shifted something. Your pain has now become the aggressor.
Yeah, a problem for me, the threat for my brain. My brain's now coded it. If I stay in that empathic space with you and I try to feel this with you for too long, it's too disruptive to my own system. And now I think, oh, what's the source of the problem? When I'm overtaxing my system, what's the source of the problem? And all brains do that. Oh, look around. Oh, you, hurt person, your hurt is the source of my problem. Well, stop doing that.
Stop hurting.
Right. Stop hurting.
So it could be the partner's being too empathetic and can't handle it. I mean, it could be that the partner's a jerk. I just want to put that out there.
It could.
Yeah.
It could.
Well,
be.
It could be that the partner is, I don't know, maybe feeling some shame over something that maybe they've done that has caused, maybe even if their intention was solid, the impact of some action that they've done has caused pain in their partner, has caused hurt. And it's also possible that the intention wasn't clear and clean, and that they still had an impact and caused hurt and pain. And rather than being with the, oh, I hurt you, and I have some accountability to own here and some responsibility, it could be that I'm trying to avoid that. And the best way for me to avoid it is if you just let go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Because then I don't have to do the work. I don't have to do the U-turn.
Right. And shame can be a really self-centered emotion. So it's like, I am hurting and awful and I'm a terrible person. And now I'm centered on me being a terrible person. So now I've lost focus on the fact that you were in pain.
And now I'm in pain because I'm in shame.
Right. And you keeping on this hurt thing, keeping circling the hurt thing is making me stay in shame because my feeling is your fault in that moment, right? That's how it's perceived. I'm not saying it actually is.
Right.
And so then, and I think this is the real difficulty, is that we don't separate shame and remorse so well sometimes. And so now I'm in a shame pit and you're the cause of my shame pit. So I'm going to get you to stop being hurt in order to get myself out of shame, rather than pulling myself out of shame and moving into remorse. And I love that you named that, Becca, because this idea between the difference between intention and impact.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when I see couples trying to apologize or make up with somebody, right? What they do is they say, well, I hear you and that hurt, but that was not my intention.
I didn't mean to do that.
I was just going to say, that's not what I meant.
That's not what I meant. You misunderstood me, or I didn't mean to have that. It wasn't my intention to hurt you. And I think that discounts the impact. And so I think if I'm in a space where I have my really deeply integrated brain on board and I have hurt my partner, I am paying way more attention to the impact I had on him than I am to what my intention was. Because that's what matters.
And one of the places I see this a lot is like in mixed race couples where there's microaggressions happening. Right? It wasn't my intention. I didn't mean to do that. Well, of course you didn't mean to do it. You know, like there's things we're not aware of, right? There's our
blind spots.
There's our biases, right? Like there's stuff, of course you didn't mean to do that. That wasn't your intention. And there was an impact. There was still something that caused pain to your partner. And not acknowledging that, not owning it, not holding the responsibility for that, not being accountable for that, not offering an apology, not trying to find a way to change your behavior, just keeping the focus on, well, that's not what I meant to do. You're misunderstanding me. Right? It's a kind of ugly power play. Or it could be.
Yeah. So if you want to move from a shame position to a remorse position, so let's say I'm the one who hurt someone, and you're listening to this and you're going, ooh, my partner tells me I minimize his hurt. Uh-oh. And you're listening to this podcast, and that's some of the feedback you've gotten. Then it may be that one of the difficulties is that you have trouble pulling yourself from shame up into remorse. So the big difference between those feelings is shame is more like, I'm a piece of shit because I did bad. See the I focus versus, oh no, I had hard impact on you. So the first thing to do is just notice, oh, okay, I'm in the pit where I said, because I did bad, I am bad. Separate out. Whoop, not defensive. It wasn't my intention. No. Separate out. Me doing something that had hard impact does not mean I'm a bad person. So separate out the behavior from who you are, and then worry a lot more about the potential impact that behavior had on the other person, rather than whether or not you meant it.
That's right.
And you'll come out into remorse.
I love remorse.
I
love remorse.
Remorse is a trust builder. We said it. This is the mini-series.
This is the mini-series all about how you can build trust.
Yeah. No, really. Yeah. Remorse is one of our biggest trust builders. Thank God we messed up.
And not just that we messed up. Like, yes, thank God we messed up. And thank God I paused long enough inside of that mess up to notice that there's an opportunity for me to take responsibility for something that could make things better right now.
Right now.
Right
that
now.
That piece is so important.
If I don't enter into the remorse, I miss that opportunity to make things better right now.
And reconnect with my partner right now.
And let's just even back it up 1 second more. If I'm entering into remorse, I'm also reconnecting with myself.
Rather than beating myself up.
Right.
I'm witnessing.
Remember last week? I'm witnessing myself.
Having an impact on someone and letting me know emotionally what that means to me. And I love remorse because it brings you back into your true north.
Yes.
Who are you really? And if you feel bad about having a painful impact, that says something really good about your heart.
I love it.
Yes, people.
Yes. Yeah.
So when we take accountability, it's not only for the partner that we take accountability, but we take accountability to bring ourselves back into our center and reclaim who we really are. Who do you really want to be? And not a person who's perfect and gets everything right all the time. You want to be somebody who cares about it if you have a hard impact. So bring yourself back into that true north so that you can realign with yourself, witness with yourself, so you can be there with your partner, which means I don't think people have a great map for accountability.
Not at all.
Shall we give them a couple of options?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Where should we start?
Well,
there's a few different maps that I'm aware of.
Go for it.
I think maybe this first one will drop into the show notes. We won't spend as much time talking about it. But I love Mia Mingus's 4 parts of accountability map, her map on how to give a genuine apology. And there's basically 4 things that she talks about. I'll make sure that we put the link to her whole article in the show notes so that folks can really dive in more with it there if they want. But basically, she talks about these 4 ingredients. One is self-reflection. One is apology. One is repair. And the last one is changed behavior. So accountability is not just about apologizing, but it's about understanding the impact that your actions have caused on both yourself and others. It's about making amends and reparations to the folks that are harmed. And it's about changing your behavior so that you can try to not let that happen again.
Yeah, not that you'll get it perfect, maybe, but we want to really give it a go.
Try.
Yeah, yeah. There's an attempt.
I like that, Matt. And I think we can't say enough, actually, about repair being an in-the-moment thing. So a lot of times when I hear couples repair, they'll either want somehow for the thing that already happened to get erased or not have happened, which is not actually possible. Or they'll want some sort of future ask, like never do that again.
I was just going to say, don't do it again.
Don't do it again. And that doesn't lead to really good repair in the moment.
No.
When I think about repair, and if you're the hurt partner, this is such a hard ask, but I want you to climb the mountain with me anyway, is really be curious. What would help you move from this disrepair back into connection right now?
Right now, not
this
every single time this might come up in the future.
No. Right this second. And we can't promise it's not going to happen, especially since a lot of the time when we have a hard impact on each other, it may be a habit or it may be coming from more protective parts of our system, and we haven't done enough work on ourselves not to totally prevent that yet. So the likelihood it might happen again is actually pretty high. And so I want to be realistic about that. And so I want to be mindful about changing it, but I don't want to pretend that we can totally prevent it. So
Thank you.
we want to make sure that we're asking for something that's going to help right this second. So examples of that might be, I want to know if you feel pain when I tell you about how this affected me. Or I want you to tell me if it makes sense to you why it would impact me this way.
Right.
Or I want to hear back that you understand what happened from my point of view. Could you tell it back to me? Maybe those would help me right now feel more connected to you.
I did
Or
say
I
once,
want you to say, I'm sorry.
and I did say once to Gabe, can you tell me that you will try to work on this and not do it again? And that really was all I was looking for in the moment. And I can tell you 6 months earlier, he would have said like, no, because I don't think it was a big deal at all. And that night he went, yes, I will try. And I was like, that's all I needed.
Yeah.
That's really what I needed.
That was really relief.
So it was it was almost like future focus, but it was like, just tell me right now that you'll try.
Yeah, if you need a future focus, it's more about right now. Can you tell me what your plan is?
Yes.
That would maybe help in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. The other map I use with people is like a 4-step one. So basically, accountability can name not just that this one thing happened, but especially for those hurts that are patterned, it's probably coming from some protective system in you.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes like this. I did this thing. It's not the only time I've done the thing. In fact, I do this thing a lot. And my understanding of why it's really hard for me to stop is fill in the blank. I'm sorry. Here's step 4. I'm sorry. What can I do right now to help you feel better? So remember, we're keeping it to right now. So it may be like, I'm thinking of a couple actually yesterday who did this great apology. He said, I did lie to you. In fact, I lied to you about teeny tiny stupid shit our entire marriage. I see now that I do that because I was so afraid of having my mom know anything about me. She was so invasive. I hid everything. And now I'm doing the same thing with you. It's such a habit, hun. And I hate it. My plan is to just say out loud, I want to lie right now, but I won't actually lie. I'm just going to name I want to lie right now in the future. And I'm going to catch myself. Instead of saying the lie, I'm going to say I want to lie right now. I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do right now to help you feel better? So notice that step 3 has a big U-turn in it and maybe even an action plan that might change something. Maybe I'll make it 5 steps. Should I expand my map a little bit? I did it. It's not the only time I did it. In fact, there's this whole history behind why I do this horrible thing. And here's my plan to make it better. And I'm sorry. Is there anything you need from me right now that would help you feel better right this second? Now that's a good apology. It's really taking accountability. And it may be, and this did happen, she said, I need you to know how much it's made me scared in our marriage. Can I tell you more about why I'm terrified? And he said, yes, I am available. Tell me more. So she did need something and she needed it right now.
Yeah. And that's also why I can't volunteer for people what they're going to need.
Right.
You know, like I would have never thought of that. That's totally what she needs.
Right.
That's what she needs. I have no guess about what you're going to need to make it better right this second.
But her protective system is going to know that, or his right? Like they're going to know what they need in the moment if they're listening to kind of what's getting active, right? Where's the hurt? The hurt has some information about what the need is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so accountability if you can do it, is going to build massive trust in relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want to run from the discord or prevent the discord. What we want to do is be accountable when the discord happens. That way you can build trust with your person, with your people.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do the same kind of apology with my kiddo too.
Mm-hmm.
And the level of trust it's built between us
gets bigger and bigger.
Gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And now sometimes she does that same apology. She did it to me the other night. Because she knocks me in the head on my mouth, and she goes, "Mommy, I hurt your lip today." It was bedtime. We were in quiet. It had happened a couple hours before. She goes, Mommy, I hurt your lip today." I said, "Yeah, sweetie, you did." She's like, "I do that a lot, huh?" I said, "Yeah, you're wild with your body." She goes, "Yeah, I don't know why I'm wild with my body. My body is just so wiggly." I said, "I know that, Stell. It's okay." And she goes, "Yeah, but maybe I should breathe sometimes when I'm getting too wild with my body." I said, "That would be great, hun." She goes, "I'm sorry, Mommy." And we hugged and it was done.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
So she followed the map.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I've never taught it to her. I've only done it again and again and
again and again and again.
It's in her bones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And is she going to actually breathe every time? No. She's 9. But I know she is learning a really good map for her biology. So
right, and she might have another moment where her body's wiggly, and then something happens and there's an impact, and she goes, "Oh, I could have breathed."
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right. And then like enough of those little moments of the awareness and the U-turn, the tuning into it. And one day she'll start breathing.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't think that we have to put the pressure on ourselves to get that changed behavior necessarily right away.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be instant.
It doesn't need to be instant because that's not how our brains learn.
No.
But I do think that there's something about the accountability, about the U-turn, about looking at ourselves that helps to promote that changed behavior over time.
Even admitting that I have a thing that's causing this and saying I'm willing to work on it is a trust builder.
Is a trust builder. That's right. Yeah.
Yay. So accountability.
Yeah. I think that's a great place for us to land.
All right. Take care of each other best you can.
And yourselves.
Bye-bye.
That wraps up this week's episode. Join us again next week for another Why Does My Partner?
We hope that you continue to listen wherever you get your audio and that you'll follow the show.
To go deeper, join us at one of our workshops. You'll find our next date at whydoesmypartner.com.
Did you know you can ask us your questions?
Your questions are relational gold.
Go to whydoesmypartner.com to either write in or record your question for a future episode.
And here's some gratitudes. Thanks to Al Huberman, our sound editor and podcast production magic maker.
Thanks to every one of you who has joined us for our workshops in the past. We've learned so much from all of you.
And thanks to everyone who's reviewed the show on Apple Podcasts. Your reviews help others to find the show.
Take care of each other best you can.
See you next time.